Now, breaking news from KCTV5 News.
We're on top of breaking news out of Virginia, where the Republican Congressman Steve Scalise was shot during a baseball practice with the GOP baseball team.
And Kansas Representative Kevin Yoder is on that team, but was not at the practice. He is joining us live this morning on the phone. Representative Yoder, thank you for joining us. Our thoughts are with your colleagues in Virginia right now. To start, we want to talk about that security detail that was there with Steve Scalise. How important, if you can provide any context with this, how important were they in protecting everybody on that field?
Well, I think they probably saved a lot of lives this morning. Without their presence, there was no other security there. And as we know, members of Congress don't travel with security. There are only 5 members of the House out of 435 that have an active security detail. And so, I played on the team for a number of years, was not there this morning, but Steve Scalise is one of the best players on the team. He's a congressman from Louisiana, a great guy. He's the third highest ranking member of the House behind the Speaker and the Majority Leader. And so he gets a security detail because of his line of succession there. And so they usually sit off the first base line in a black SUV, a Chevy Tahoe. There would have been 2 officers there in the car. And it's normally just, there they are, you talk to them, but there's really, they don't ever actually really have to engage, of course. This morning was a very unique and isolated incident for their work. But yeah, without Steve Scalise there would have been 24 members of Congress, senators, Senator Flake, Senator Rand Paul, and others that would have had no security, and they would have been sitting ducks. And I think those Capitol Police officers are heroes, and I'm sure they saved numbers of lives this morning because they were the only presence there, and there would have been nothing else.
Representative Yoder, there's been a lot said this morning about this being a soft target. All these lawmakers in one place in broad daylight, only one of them having this security detail that you described that did save lives. So what are your thoughts on that moving forward?
Well, it's an interesting question. And, in 2011, one of my colleagues, Gabrielle Giffords, got shot at a town hall meeting by one of the attendees. And so, ever since then, members of Congress have taken their security a little more seriously. And so anytime this happens, you rethink, okay, what are, as you put it, soft targets, where are opportunities where something like this may occur? I think we're probably going to have to rethink security for larger incidents, but I don't think you're going to see members of Congress travel with actual security. As I mentioned, there are only 5 out of 435, just 5 members have a security detail. The other 430 don't, and I don't think that's probably going to change unless, as the facts develop, we learned that this is more orchestrated or part of a larger issue where we're worried. We're hoping this is an isolated incident, and we're thankful that no one was killed or in life in serious jeopardy. I understand that my colleague Steve Scalise is either in surgery or soon to undergo surgery, and that his injuries are serious but not life-threatening, and so. Ultimately, that's what we're focused on, is the safety and health of my colleagues. And I think in the coming hours and days, we will have a chance to really think about are these soft targets that are inviting potential actors. We've heard the reports, like you have, probably, that the individual asked if these are Republicans or Democrats. I don't have any independent ability to verify that. But, of course, if it's politically motivated, that probably changes the conversation as well, and has people rethink things. But I mean, to think about it, though, this is about 20 minutes south of the Capitol in suburban Virginia, on a high school baseball field where members were practicing for a baseball game tomorrow night at 6:30 in the morning. It's not really an area where you would ever even imagine. I've been to that practice dozens of times. You would never even imagine or even had a second thought that someone there would be there trying to kill members of Congress.
No, not at all.
Representative Kevin Yoder, thank you for joining us this morning. We're glad you're safe, and we're hopeful hearing that the reports that Steve Scalise is going to be okay.
We'll continue to update all of you throughout the day.
Thanks so much.
Local reaction to this shooting in Virginia. For now.